But I'll tell you, my one issue is oftentimes it seems like the people who resonate or are willing to hear a message like this are already the people that are on board. You know? So how often do you I want the person that would resist this to hear it.
Yeah.
And they're like the fucking devil. And they're like, I'll never give in to what you're saying. You're never going to get the person who actually needs it the most everybody else is like, amen, but it's like echo chambery.
Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin back again. And in this one, we are going to be reacting to Prince. I don't even know how to say his last name. Is it EA or A? I don't know. I'm new to this guy. But he's got this cool video out called If I Was the Devil. And I think like a lot of this guy's content is just to get you thinking, get the wheels in your mind turning. So let's dive into it.
If I was the devil, my first victim will be the kids. From the moment they left their mother's precious wombs and were born, I would condition them to see racial division as a norm. And I wouldn't stop till I've stripped their innocence, divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book of Genesis. And see, as they grew up, I would continue my infiltration. For 12 years, I would steal their hearts and minds from them and call it education. If I was the devil, my next victim will be women. I'd make old, out-of-touch men control women's bodies and rights. What better way to curse God than to disrespect the very bringers of life? Speaking of God, if I was the devil when it comes to religion, I put my plan together perfectly. I'd allow you to worship Jesus every Sunday, and on the other 6 days, I'd make you worship me.
Okay, so a lot of points. Right off the bat, he's hitting on relevant current day subjects.
Yeah.
Division seems to be a big one in our culture right now, right?
Yeah.
And this, I'm pretty sure, is a spin-off of an older sermon or something that was done back in the day. I don't know if this guy's a Christian or what his spiritual beliefs are, but I've heard this thing before.
Tell you yes, I'm digging this approach here and bringing awareness to some of these situations here. But I'll tell you, my one issue is oftentimes it seems like the people who resonate or are willing to hear a message like this are already the people that are on board. So how often do you I want the person that would resist this to hear it.
Yeah.
And they're like the fucking devil. And they're like, I'll never give in to what you're saying. You're never going to get the person who actually needs it the most to... Everybody else is like, amen, but it's like echo chambery. You, if anything, you guys got to go consume some conservative content.
Well, we did have a conversation just not too long ago where the more people that kind of become aware and push this out and stuff like that by osmosis, these messages tend to
normalize
infiltrate, right?
Kind of that's, that comes off, that sounds devilly too, by the way. Well, we'll just, make them osmosis accepted. I'd be like, fuck, I'm never going to stop resisting this shit. You're not going to osmosis me into believing something.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is the more awareness you bring, I think it penetrates.
But it's just got to be true for F's sake, What's with the resistance to whatever is exactly true? Yeah. Why can't we just hear something that is correct and accept that? Why is it going to be all these sneaky ass fucking ways? Just what is true? Anyway, let's hear what the man's got to say, for Pete's sake.
In the form of money, fame, lust, and greed, to my religion, I wouldn't need to convert you. I turn the 10 commandments to the 10 suggestions and make virtue signaling more important than virtue. I give you just enough religion to hate each other, but not enough to...
Listen, there's a reason why virtue signal... By the way, I hate it. But you have to be able to accept that things are the way they are for good reason. It's not for no reason. The whole thing is that people can't jump into reality with both feet into chaos. Everything is anything and anything's everything. People need rules and structure to life. You're not going to stop them from needing that. They'll be like, I'm never going to listen to you. Unless you've got an ABC plan, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, man. There are people lined up down the block to be charitable, to contribute. And there are people that are like, ugh. You don't just get to contribute because you want to. I had to work hard to like have my contributions like mean something. You work up a hierarchy. Somebody like me fucking hates it. I hate the way things are, but it's not for no reason. There's a good reason why let's say Bill Gates wanted to donate a whole bunch of money to some hospital or some shit. Yeah. Why he gets all the glory and all the praise, even if he's Satan himself. It's not for no fucking reason. It's not just because people are corrupt and that's that. Yeah. It's because you could have attained enlightenment. You could have attained inner peace and go be around people and they'll be like, you don't deserve inner peace. What the fuck did you do to earn it? Like, I'm working 60 hours a week. I deserve inner peace. What the hell have you done to deserve it? There's a method and a way why everything is the way it is. It's not just for no reason. It's not just because some people are devils and some people are good people. Yeah. We contribute to the way things are.
Yeah, and it's not. I hear what you're saying. It's not as black and white, simple. Just make these slight little changes and everything gets better.
Yeah,
I think it's a more complex issue.
Hell yeah.
Love each other, and for my final evil strategy, I'd make you forget the whole purpose of religion was spirituality. If I was the devil, I wouldn't come dressed in a red cape and pointy horns. I'd drive a Lambo, have a pretty face and a Gucci belt on. Basically, I'd take the form of everything you ever wished for and watch you create your own hell. I don't need to torch the earth. And as far as politicians go, I'd change nothing. They're already doing my dirty work. If I was the devil low-key, I'd be behind the scenes. You wouldn't have to see me. I would normalize dysfunction and call it reality TV. And in this reality, I would attack your self-worth, making it hard to heal from. I'd show you images of fake bodies and make them more attractive than real ones. If I was the devil, I'd make you pray to technology.
Do you want one day for people to accept, women with Bush League eyebrows to be able to feel fully comfortable and with like dreadlock, hairy armpits to feel comfortable? Do you want dudes that are not traditionally handsome do you want everybody to feel comfortable? Here's the way we do it. We have to burn out at a fever pitch this hyper vanity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, it's not for no reason. And just like this guy's, like the crying voice in the wilderness, like a prophet type character pointing out how ridiculous these things are. Yes, that's a sure way to find misery, is to be like obsessed with your Instagram filter. Like, do I look, And the more friends you get from being that will be uncursed unto thee. They will not be legitimate. You know what I mean? Everything you gain from being a selfish devil is not going to satisfy you in the end. Is me talking about it, backing what this guy's saying, going to change jack shit? It doesn't even matter if it does, because it's got to work itself out through the public. We actually have to be so indulgent and vain till we love that sin to death, till we're like, oh God, whole generation lost in their phones. Fuck. Oops. Yeah. Sometimes that's how it goes. If you've got brain one in your skull, you're going to be more apt to realize that that's a shallow life.
You're talking about like burning through your karma.
Yes.
Like pushing everything so much that it just becomes so sick we all okay, we're done with that.
Yeah. It's gotta be the way it is.
Idolize those who created. I'd make clout the #1 drug and steal millions of lost souls as they chased it. Now, if I was the devil, I wouldn't do it all at once. I'd take my time instead. I'd eat away at your morals little by little. Exactly how cancer spreads. Speaking of cancer, if I was the devil, I'd feed you tasty food that makes you ill. Then I'd turn your doctors into drug dealers, selling you pills that keep you coming back instead of truly healed. Yeah, if I was Lucifer, then I'd know life and death are in the tongue. So I'd make your knife and fork your executioner. See, you can't achieve higher consciousness if your body is sick. You won't opt for positive information if you have inflammation. If I was Satan, my cleverness would be admired. Why do you think the word inflammation literally means to set on fire?
Oh, that one's brutal. I always hate that when people point that out in spirituality about like eating properly and healthy, because one, like I think it's a very common thing for people to struggle with something I sometimes struggle with,
Yeah,
eating,
me too.
eating healthy, all the right vitamins and doing everything you're supposed to do, especially in a world where like, you know, 90% of the shit you're surrounded by is shit. You know, it's just, I can feel that's like a struggle, but I think he's right. Like to get clear headed and think, you almost have to, you know, it's like you got to get healthy. And it's so hard.
Yeah, yeah, for guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he's onto something there.
If I was the devil, I'd show you how to really flex. I would release pandemics on the world to give people the chance to really care for each other and then sit back and laugh as they exploited and became scared of each other. Basically, if I was the devil, I'd keep doing what I'm doing. God is my witness. I already control your systems. Don't try to fight against this. Because for my last trick, I would make smart people like you doubt whether I ever existed.
Oh, yeah, I regret half the things I said. You know what I mean? Maybe he was just hitting a chord with me, and I had a reaction to it. But
Good poem. You know, he's
Yep.
got some interesting stuff. It makes me want to go like binge watch a bunch of his material. I've seen him here, and like he pops up every now and then, like my TikTok or something. It's been modified or something like that. But he's got some interesting material. I recommend go checking him out. And guys, if you liked this reaction, don't forget to hit the like.
I just wanted to say something else before this was over,
Okay,
if that's all right.
yeah.
I think that there's lots of different ways this content could be consumed. I think that there are some people that might see this and have their opinion swayed and then like change the course, the direction they're going. I think that there are some people that could watch this and feel conflicted, you know, sort of like I did. Like, oh man, it just seems like even when you point out what's actually true, sometimes people are like, not you. You know what I mean? And I guess that's just kind of a frustration, you know? Maybe that's just more of a call, like you said at the end there. Start eating right, so you're not so greasy and fat next time you tell the message and full of inflammation.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. I think that this can hit on lots of different levels, and I think it. I hope that it works as something good, and I think it will work as something good for people.
All right, guys, let us know what you think about this video. Leave a comment. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend, and everybody. Until next time, stay spiritual.